Hey everybody, welcome to the channel, welcome to stream. We're about to get started here in just a quick moment. Appreciate you guys for being patient. We're going to be doing some Battlefield 5 today. I'm going to be doing a few of these streams every Saturday on YouTube. I'm not abandoning Twitch. I just think that it'd be really, because there's a lot of people who are subscribed to this channel for Battlefield 5, but we'll get into that in just a quick moment. Let me load up a few things here and get everything set up. Give me a few more seconds. Yo, Echo Limits, it's good to see you, man. What's up, what's up, what's up? Welcome, everybody. Good to have everyone here. George, good to see you. Suzuki? Sakazuki? What's going on, man? Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Give me a quick second here. I'm almost all set up. I just need 2 more seconds, and I'm literally golden. I don't stream a whole lot on YouTube, but I'm getting used to it, and I'm going to explain why I'm even streaming on the YouTube channel today in just a quick moment. Why so late? I was working on a very big project, actually. A really big one, so pretty exciting. I'm gonna get this to work. Hold on. For some reason, I'm not having any luck. Yo, MG, it's good to see you, man. It's good to have you here. I'm gonna pull this up while I work on this so you guys can see my face and everything. I've been working on a really big project. It's on the Discord. The next 2 Saturdays and Sundays are going to be really big projects that I'm working on. Can't seem to get this event list going. I'll get it set up in a second. I thought this was going to be a little bit faster and easier, but I seem to be having a little bit of trouble. But that's okay. Almost set up. I guess my issue is that I cannot see event list. Not necessarily good. Center analytic. I will use that. Even though I see nothing there. On the wrong thing. Let's see here. Hold on. Hey Ducky, what's up, man? Harrison, it's good to see you. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome everybody. Hope everyone's doing well. I'm excited. I'm excited to be on YouTube for today. We're gonna be doing Battlefield 5. What is your KD on Battlefield 5? I have no idea. I'm gonna be honest. I have no idea what my KD is on Battlefield 5. I don't think it really matters, to be honest. It's not working the way I want it to, at least. I think it's defaulting one of my other YouTube channels. I think that's the problem. That's fun. That's okay. If somebody subs, just let me know. I unfortunately can't seem to get my alerts up and going. I seem to have it open on this side of things, but not on the other one. That's fine. Okay. At least I have chat. That's the most important part. Let's load up Battlefield 5, shall we? So while that's loading up, everyone's probably wondering why I'm streaming on YouTube. So this is what I discovered the past few weeks about YouTube and Twitch. So obviously the most important thing that I'm trying to gather from the YouTube side of things is watch time, right? You might have noticed I've been obviously posting a lot more Apex gameplay and a lot of more Apex guides. But I still want to post every once in a while about Battlefield. Right now, Battlefield is definitely pretty dry, especially on Twitch. I think there's probably, I don't know, 100 people watching, or 100 to 300 people on average, which is not crazy, but definitely hurts. But I think the biggest thing is I've been trying to figure out what's going to work and what's going to grow the community. And well, that's kind of been the goal. I know that everyone here watches for Battlefield, and I've been trying to cultivate a new audience with Apex Legends and the guides and everything. What's your 360 turn? 15.5 inches per 360. You can translate that to centimeters if you like. The 15.5. All right, let's hop on in. Let's see here. I guess we can do breakthrough. Do that one. Guess streaming do Battlefield due to Battlefield 5. Yeah. It's crazy. It's been rough. It's rough for any creator to really figure out what's like the next big step, you know? So it's hard. I just know that to grow, the only thing to really grow with is going to be probably on Battlefield, maybe on YouTube to stream it, maybe. I don't know necessarily if there's a way to grow on YouTube with Battlefield right now. I think people are obviously watching Call of Duty, COD, Warzone, and Apex Legends. People don't watch me for Apex because that's not the audience that I cultivated, but I think we started to develop one through the guides that I've been creating. So there's going to be a lot more guides in Apex, and I want to create a guide. Actually, that's what I'm going to actually play today is the K31. I'm going to try the K31 today. Again, I know that it was horrible before, but we'll see if it's better now. We'll get it in just a hot minute. We'll get chat more about it. But yeah, no, I'm excited overall. We'll see how this goes today. I know that it's really late though. I'm super late on my normal time slot. So we'll see how that goes. But nonetheless, we're going to get into it. I got my chat open. My event list is broken for Twitch for some reason, which kind of sucks. But maybe that's just a Streamlabs thing. Maybe Streamlabs is just broken. Oh, you know what it is? I think I know what it is. I think I found out what it is exactly. Hold on. I think I need to clear the browser history. Did I get in? Stefan, it's good to see you, bro. What's going on, buddy? Hold on. How do I delete? See here, hold on. Need to delete cookies. I can re-log into this somehow. Hold on. 2 seconds. Have you been abusing Summer Sale on Steam? No, I haven't, unfortunately. Have you? Have you been using the Steam Summer Sale at all or anything like that? Wow. I kind of screwed myself on this, I'm not gonna lie. I don't remember how to delete cookies or anything all of a sudden. Because you know the issue is that it's pulling up one of my other YouTube channels, which is pretty crazy. So I can't see if anybody subs. That's incredibly... You know what? We're going to look at that later. At least I have chat. Let's just be thankful that at least I have chat. Let's just play. No games to really buy. Right now on Steam. Yeah, I hear you. Alright, let's try the new K31. I want to put a guide on it. Oh, that's so frustrating that it pulled up one of my other... So, ideally, we'd go aim down sights faster. That... Oh, shoot. Yeah, we're going to go with that. That works. So I apologize if there's any new subs during. I think this is probably the way I would most likely go for the sniper, personally. What side am I on? Okay, I'm attacking. I guess they fixed it. I'm not really warmed up. but shoot, dude. Team's 123 tickets in. I forget how many tickets you start with on this round, to be honest. And thank you for the res. Appreciate you. Today might even be a shorter stream. We'll see how long we go. My next 2 weekends are going to be very interesting since I'm going to be very much busy during the day. Okay, hello. I don't think these guys know how to push. I think that's kind of a problem. Shoot. Honestly, this gun is still a little rough. It ain't no crag, that's to say the least. I don't know. K31, what do I think of this? Now that they kind of fixed it. At least the crosshair. At least the 6X is working. I was very disappointed for how long it took him to fix it. I like the increased magazine size. I very much dislike everything else about it, though. From the crosshair to the flow of the gun. It's very an odd gun. The scope is also extremely rough. 100% agree. How did that not hit him? Oh, I didn't think I hit him for a second there. Rip. I guess it's better with the 6X, the sniper. I guess you can go for the faster rate of fire on the right. There's really not a bad way to spec it. I wouldn't go for the bayonet charge unless you were just kind of memeing. Is it broken now? Something doesn't seem right. It seems broken. Bro. This gun is super sketch, dude. Did they fix it or did they not? This is a really hard gun to recommend. It seems really buggy the way it zooms in and out. It doesn't feel complete. I don't know. I wanted to stream this as well because I wanted to put a guide on this. But the scope already looks a little weird. See how it zooms in a little awkwardly? It's like it reverts to a... Is there... Hold on. Maybe there's an alternate fire mode? No, the alternate fire mode, all that does is... Dazs, are you done with Twitch? No. I'm just streaming over... So, the story behind why I'm streaming on YouTube is mostly... It's not that I'm done with Twitch. It's more or less I'm trying to expand outside of Battlefield. But I know everyone watches me on YouTube for Battlefield. Or at least watches my content here. What I'm trying to figure out and discover is I really wanted to also have a conversation with the community. Because the thing is on Twitch, Battlefield in general, very, very low on views. This gun is really bad. It's really rough. I don't know if I can even put a guide on this. I can't recommend this gun for anybody. The gun just feels incomplete. Even the scope, the way it goes in, it just feels... It doesn't feel done. Something doesn't feel right about it. It's probably the scope. It's probably a lot of things. But this gun does not feel complete. Like, if this was our first sniper that we ended up in the game with, this would definitely be concerning for Battlefield. I don't know. So, I thought I was going to put a guide on this, but I don't really know what to say about this gun. This gun is very difficult to talk about considering how it feels. And I don't even know if it's on the 6X anymore. It feels like a 3X now. It doesn't feel as zoomed in. It feels like it bugged out. It's really weird. You're affiliated or partner with Twitch, you're breaking contracts, whatever. With everything that's happening these days. What the? I hit that guy direct on. I don't think they fixed this gun. I thought they fixed it. Bro, what is wrong with this thing? Okay, we're not using this anymore. I can't make a guide on this and I can't recommend the sniper to pretty much anybody, unfortunately. This is rough. It's bugged still. It's bugged still. That sucks, dude. They said they fixed it. They said they fixed it. Alright, we're going to switch off this gun. We're not going to use it anymore. I can't make a guide on this. This gun still is broken. It doesn't work. It's broken. They said they put a hotfix to fix it and that they were going to fix the skins and everything. It's not fixed. Broken still. We're just going to use the crack. I'm not going to sit here and waste my time on that sniper if it doesn't work, you know? It's not fair. It's not fair to me. It's not fair to you guys. It's not fair to anybody. I'm over here shooting shots and nothing's landing. I thought they said they fixed it. Do some snipe with the Arasaka 99. I'm probably gonna use the Krag. Alright. Let me try, while we're in this intermission, to fix my notifications. So again, the reason why I'm streaming on YouTube is that obviously I'm really off in my time and when I should be streaming in general. I usually stream on the weekends way earlier. So I'm kind of screwing myself, number one, on the time that I'm streaming. And then two, I'm not really mentioning it on any of my socials. Fine, too. Here, let me see if I can fix this. I don't remember how to delete cookies on here we go, let's see here. I think I just figured it out. Clear data. Labs. See here. I think also what kind of made me nervous about the whole Mixer and Twitch and everything thing is that there's not a, whatchamacallit. You're not safe wherever you go. There's not even if you dedicate yourself to a platform, you have to diversify. And that's kind of the biggest thing that I've been just looking at. It says it's fixed. It's by a German dude called Equa. I mean, we just saw it. It wasn't fixed, unfortunately. Maybe it was just the skin I'm using that's still broken with it. I don't know. It doesn't work. I have a list of YouTube channels here, but I don't have it. Feel silly for having to work on this live. Whenever. Funny, I deleted my cookies and everything, and it still takes me here. Hey, Voltage, it's good to see you. Wait, that skin breaks the gun. It's possible that it's actually the skin. 100%. That actually makes sense. Yeah, no kidding. It definitely did. And I'm running into this other issue right now that doesn't seem to be working. It should give me an option on YouTube channels. Like a selection, but it's not. Alright, let's just get back into playing. This isn't gonna work. At least I have chat. I can't see notifications. It sucks. I can see an event list. You know, maybe that's what I should do. Hold on. Hey, Dio, what's up, man? It's good to see you. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the stream, man. I'll try to keep an eye on. I think I got it. Why so less viewers? I literally just started streaming. I haven't been streaming for more than, I don't know, 10 minutes or so. Also, I didn't tweet out about the stream, and I don't stream on YouTube normally. I'm also not starting at my normal time, and I normally stream on Twitch. So there's a lot of reasons. When you're going back to Bf5, I can't because I'll get DDoSed. If I stream on Battlefield 4, I'm gonna get DDoSed. Didn't duck. Oof, riff. But yeah, it could be the skin, honestly. That could be the issue. Well, they DDoS anybody who plays BF4 that gets any sort of viewership. So if you get any sort of viewership, you're going to get DDoS unless you go on to only one server and you have somebody pretty much protect your information and ensure that it doesn't happen. But I don't want to be just stuck on one server. You know what I mean? So I'd rather just not. Especially when I know that the directory on Twitch is really, really low in terms of viewership. That's kind of why I'm testing out YouTube for today, to see how the views go. Because I will be perfectly honest, I'm not sure how much growth there is into streaming Battlefield anymore in general. But that's kind of why I'm just testing out the waters and kind of seeing what happens. You know, I know that if I stream on Twitch, that I would probably get between 50 to 100 viewers on Twitch. On my normal scheduled time, though. Like, I would obviously have to stream on the normal scheduled time. What kind of life does someone have if they try to DDoS a man casually playing a game? It happens, dude. Happens. Unfortunately. Because there's those type of people out in the world. I can't stop it. Streamers have asked to be better protected, you know, that, you know. But we just haven't been. No growth was a waste of time. Yeah, that's kind of what, it's not that I'm saying it's like, obviously spending time with the community is great and everything, but what I have found over the past few months is that people are moving on from Battlefield, and I don't blame anyone for it, and I don't want to have anybody feel guilty about it, but I also have to realize, okay, what am I going to do with myself until Battlefield 6, so to speak? What I'm not gonna just stop playing. You know, obviously I gotta stay fresh and keep my practice up and make sure that I don't, you know, suck, I guess. So it's just trying to figure out what to do in that meantime, you know. So I obviously still practice my aim on the side. I've been doing Apex tournaments. I help run a lot of things within SoaR. And I have to generally ask myself, because I know Echo, you know, Echo is a big streamer on Twitch as well, really big name within the Battlefield community. We've all had these conversations. We all ask ourselves, what do we do next? Because there's only so much you can hang on to nostalgia. You know, like with Battlefield 1 and say, hey guys, we're doing Battlefield 1. It's like, it's great and all, but it only lasts for a while. So if everybody already, not quote unquote, knows who you are in Battlefield 1 and there's nothing new coming to the table in terms of content or game, you generally have to answer the question of what's next. You know what I mean? Which is kind of why I wanted to do these streams on YouTube, because a lot of my audience has stemmed here from YouTube and obviously Twitch. But the thing is, on Twitch, at least I can just keep streaming and, you know, explaining things. But on YouTube, it's a little more difficult, right? Hey, Tyler, it's good to see you. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to stream, buddy. And I was generally looking at numbers last night. If there's 300 people who are watching Battlefield, and you said, if every single one of those people were to follow me today, you know, where would the new growth be, right? I know that Battlefield's a lot more popular on YouTube, so I figured, hey, why don't we just do a few streams over here and kind of see what's happening, what are people's thoughts, and, you know, get their headspace on Battlefield. What games are they playing? What are they doing? I know a lot of people want me to play COD Warzone. My fear, and why I haven't, like, hopped on that train, is that I'm not looking for quick views, or because I think if I did Call of Duty, I think that would probably be the best way to garner viewership on that regard. But I generally also want to really enjoy the game that I play. I think the game that I enjoy playing most at the moment is Apex, which is why I've been posting so much content and guides on it. I still have a soft spot for Battlefield, though. That's why I don't mind streaming it like I am right now and having a genuine conversation with you guys and just talking about where this franchise is. I honestly thought I was going to be able to put a guide on the K31. That one really sucked, especially when I just loaded up just now and then the gun is still broken. That's incredibly disappointing. That shouldn't happen, but listen, it's the world we live in today, right? There's only so much I can control. But, so I don't know if I'm going to put a guide on it because I don't want to lead people to use a gun that's not working. And it could be the skin. I'll try it again later. Maybe it's the skin, but still, it's really ridiculous. Playing Battlefield Hardline, I think there's less than, and this is the thing. You have to keep in mind that I am going to be honest and selfish to a degree, and ask the question of, because I'm looking at numbers, and the biggest thing when we're doing this is obviously one, I have to enjoy what I'm playing. That's one, and then two, is there potential in the directory for growth? You know, so with Battlefield Hardline, Battlefield 1, Battlefield 4, Battlefield 3, it's more popular on YouTube. I think there's more growth on YouTube for it, but in terms of Twitch growth, I think it's honestly next to none. If you see people with higher viewership on those games, it's because they are watching them because it's something that they have watched them play prior and they followed them for, like in Battlefield 1. Hey, yeah, George, I appreciate it, buddy. You just can't use the K31 in this game. It feels so bad. It's not a bad gun. I think it has potential, man. Oh my god, what am I doing? Rip. What game mode do you usually play? I guess it depends. Conquest or Breakthrough? Oh, this is Boss. What's up, Tyler? Thank you so much for being here today. I appreciate you. Thank you so much, dude. No one knew it was going into that directory. Yeah. I think it's why Broken Machine, because I was thinking about this a lot, why there's others that are finding success on YouTube and also other platforms, Echo, is that, okay, so YouTube is very popular about watch time, right? If I can generate and bring back enough subs to watch at least a little bit of the stream on YouTube, that will push up the viewership and watch time to get quote unquote a channel through, I guess, recommended, right? You never told me why the new sniper rifle is bad. It's broken. It doesn't work still. I'm gonna try changing the skins right now and see if it fixes it. But the scope is a little rough. It's got a really nice ammo count though. I wish that ammo count was consistent because that would be really nice. But that scope is really rough, and then also the bullets don't register. It was supposed to register. I thought they fixed it, but it looks like they haven't. So if I put a guide talking about this gun and then I lead everyone to it and it's broken, it's why I haven't put a guide on it. And I don't want to make rant videos on Battlefield 5 because I feel like rant videos are very much said and done. This game has already gone through a lot already, and I just don't know if it makes sense. So maybe it's this skin. Let's try changing the skin. Let's just put the standard skin on it. We'll try it one more time, but it was broken. The reason why it's broken, if you go with the left side where you go with a 3 to 6x, then it breaks the scope. What's also frustrating is I don't think that the crosshairs are 100% centered on the screen, and I think that's a problem too. I guess I could be proven wrong on that, but just I know for a fact the other skin, when I used the Predator, it was bugged out and it put in like the German scope. But it still just doesn't feel right. Something is off about it compared to other games. Thanks, sir, for people that can't aim. Feels bad, dude. So we'll try it again. But I don't think that it's working. So I might just move on from this and not make a guide on it. I don't know if I can. I can't just, like, so let's say, I think when I die, like, it starts off fine. But I think when I die, it breaks. What sniper do I usually use? The Krag. Only working one properly. But it's like you have one whole talent tree, and the whole purpose of a guide is to explain the difference between talent trees, and if it doesn't work, then it's like, you know, like what are we doing here? So if once I die, technically this, I think the scope will go back to, because you notice how it's a little more zoomed in right here? Once I die, it seems like it bugs out, and it goes back to its 3x zoom, and I think that's what makes the gun break. I swear to God, these crosshairs aren't centered either. What's FOV? 101. 101. I think it's 83 in game to equate to horizontal 101. Okay, now that I've died, if I spawn back in, shh, look at that, bro. Okay, off this gun. Not making a guide on it. I'm sorry. This gun is broken. They didn't fix it. That's crazy. That's absurd. I gave it its chance. I literally gave it its chance. I shot at him dead center. The gun doesn't work. The crosshairs are off and they're not aligned properly. It's a broken gun. The gun is broken. Doesn't work. We can simply say just use the right talent tree. I swear to God, those crosshairs are not centered. Something is off about this gun. And I'm not going to put out a guide complaining about it because the gun is just silly. It definitely feels rushed. How did that not hit him? Absurd, dude. Still my PS4 to get some PC parts. Still need a motherboard and RAM. I'm bored to death. It'll get there, man. It'll get there. What's your I think you said favorite FOV. I guess it also depends on the game, bro. In terms of FOV. It's the same thing with like sensitivity, you know? Oh shoot, I get hit on the right. Okay. I don't know, that's a little crazy. So I guess what I'm trying to... Are you down to stream some Titanfall 2 soon? I love Titanfall 2, but there's no growth. You have to keep in mind, like, I'm going to be just as straightforward and honest. I have to find the balance between something that's fun for me, and I have to find the balance of something that will obviously have growth as well. You know, that's just what I have to do. I have to find that balance to continue to grow a community, but also do something that I really enjoy. Titanfall 2 is something I really enjoy, but it's not something that is going to grow an audience for me. That's the problem. What mouse do I use? I use the G Pro Wireless. I'm sure a lot of people will be honest with you. I'm going to be pretty much as honest as possible in terms of how I approach my content and what I do. I'm talking like 1 or 2 streams. I probably won't do it still. I guess I just don't understand the justification. Whenever we can find another game that'll bring everyone together and then do that same exact thing. It's like the same thing when you ask me questions why I don't do viewership games or stuff like that. I mean, there's a rhyme and reason why I do what I do and what I don't do. You know? It doesn't have any tracking issues for you, the G Pro? Oh, not really. I've used it quite a bit, man. No issues. Is there input delay on the mouse? No. Titanfall 2 is a hidden gem. You know, the reason why it suffered so badly, because I played it whenever it was in its beta or alpha. Yeah, alpha. I guess you can say it was the alpha state. Was that it came out at the same time as Call of Duty and Battlefield 1. And Battlefield 1 popped off big time, you know, back then. I'm going to push. I'm going to be real dumb. This is a dumb push. Yeah, it was a dumb push. What does it mean, coefficient? Coefficient on what? Hey, it's good to see you, buddy. I'm just looking to have fun. I have to look at it from 2 angles. You know? What is going to be fun, but also what's going to be there for growth. And we all do that. I mean, there's not one streamer that doesn't do that, for the most part. You kind of have to. Once you start... The best way to start... This is my biggest advice for anybody getting into streaming. When you first start streaming, it doesn't matter what you do as long as you're having fun doing it. And then, once you hit a certain followers or viewership, you have to do what will get a new audience or grow a community and audience, but also balance the fun. You have to find that equilibrium, right? And that's hard because you have to keep in mind that if you do what's strictly fun for you, but isn't in a directory that's going to grow, then you're going to be punished by the YouTube algorithm. You actually do get punished by the YouTube algorithm. Let's say if I posted Titanfall 2 and I had a blast with it and people saw that I was having a really good time. It doesn't matter because people don't click on a video. It's actually better if people click on a video and then dislike it, but it's actually worse if people get a notification and don't click on it. YouTube sees it as a massive disinterest, and it's not even your fault per se. It could be just that, hey, people don't want to watch Titanfall 2 because that's not what they're into, you know what I mean? You're always so serious trying to get you to have fun. But that's the thing, MTL. I do have fun, but I also take a very serious approach to what I do. Like, I love what I do. But you can't really change who I am because that's who I am, dude. And that's what I enjoy doing most. It's why I create guides, why I create content. I have fun with what I do, and I like to balance it. Like I go back from having fun to putting guides to, you know, I kind of balance it out. But you won't be able to change what I enjoy doing because I just do what I do. You know what I mean? I'm pretty much as real and open and honest as humanly possible. And the reason why you don't see me play with a lot of individuals, I have like a small circle who I feel very, very comfortable with, is I've gotten very much screwed over by a lot of individuals of what they want from me or what their expectations are. So I don't feel always comfortable bringing somebody new because I don't know what it's going to mean for the channel, and I don't know what their end goal is of what they want from me, you know? That's usually the issue. And, you know, I've chatted a lot with people like Necro, Fireborn. We all feel mostly the same way. It gets difficult. And it's not even if you're a big name. You start to realize that even if you're a smaller name, streaming with people. What the heck? Oh my god. If you're streaming with people, you know? You know me, I like to try things even if I'm not likely to do much. Yeah, but you know, that's the thing. That's happened a lot with me though. It's because I'm always really, really nice and I'm always willing to kind of like just put myself out there. But I definitely get to the point where it gets taken advantage of, and I've learned throughout the years to. It's why I made changes during Battlefield 1, and I said, okay, we can't do this, but I can do this, or this is not healthy because this person will do this, and not everyone is like that though. So I don't want to get the impression that everyone's like that. Also, Ahmed, thank you so much for the follow, by the way, dude. I appreciate it for the sub. I appreciate that. But again, not everyone's like that, but it's something that I've learned to be careful about, you know? Oh shoot, Jesus. Our team is really struggling here. But yeah, I know who I am and what I want to do. And I think what you're going to see on the channel as of late, I'm going to try to stick with the Battlefield 5 streams every Saturday here for a couple weeks. And if they do really well, we'll continue to do it. I think on the Twitch channel, it'll be strictly Apex, though. I think that's what I'm going to do on the Twitch channel. It'll be strictly Apex. And then once it, and then a few things are going to happen. The guides on Apex will take off. People will really enjoy it and see that's the content that they want. Or the Battlefield 5 streams will take off, and then we'll try to rediscover what that is. Or the Twitch streams will take off, because where I'm placing the content is where it's most likely to garner a community. And what I really, really enjoy doing is helping others up their game and play, and that's just something that I've noticed that I do. So I'm trying to hone in on that because that's what people watch me for here on YouTube, and that's what people, I don't know. That's what my gameplay is all about. I'm not the funny guy. I can be funny. I got dad jokes. But I think what I am is that I'm just honest, I guess. A lot of people are. But we'll see. Apex is a better game for sure. I love Apex, dude. It's a lot of fun. And oh man, I appreciate you, buddy. I really, really enjoy that game a lot. It reminds me of Battlefield, and I love the support that the game has. It's what I wish that Battlefield has in terms of support and getting things done. It's not a perfect game by any means, but it definitely is up there. I don't know why I was so confused by what I was watching there for a second. We actually took the objective. Oh my god, dude. And so that's really where the conversation takes place, is that I know whenever I play a different game, I'm not going to be able to please everybody. Like, I know there's some people in the comment section that'll ask, well, why don't you do Call of Duty? Or why don't you do this game? Why don't you do Escape from Tarkov? And so, technically the best route I should take is just play Call of Duty Warzone. But the thing is I don't like how uncompetitive the game feels. I thought Valorant would be a lot more interesting, but then I noticed the flaws competitively with the game. That's really what I saw in terms of issues with the game. I just saw that competitively, it was definitely a bit of a struggle for most people and myself. I just think that it's a new game. It'll get better, but it's not there today, not yet. I think what they advertised is where they want to go, but it's not there. Now Apex is why I like that game. I know that it's not Battlefield for people, but it's why, like I said, I'll continue to stream Battlefield on Saturdays, and we'll talk about it. Well, if people continue to watch Battlefield, then hey, we'll get right back into it. If they don't, then I'll pretty much have my answer, I guess. You know what I mean? But people can always look at these streams and get the Battlefield fix. That's literally my thought process. It's like, how can we find a happy middle ground until we figure out our new stride or whatever that is? This guy's got a hiccup. What I think is fun, don't take it as not liking what you do. No, it's fine, dude. Just know that I'm just not that type of creator, though. You know what I mean? That's not why. That's because I know that other people forge their channels around that, but that just isn't who I am or what the content that I produce. I produce guides. We get really in depth about meta. We take serious talks about stuff, and I joke around like when I play with Ducky. That's another side of content that I do. But I think that comes with the variety. You know what I mean? Because I don't always want to. Because the issue with being funny is that you always have to be funny. And I'm not good at always being funny. I'm not funny all the time, unfortunately. I can be funny, I think. I don't, you know. But I know for a fact if somebody said I come for your streams for comedy, I don't know if I can do comedy 24/7. It's I know that because, well, that's how I was in theater class as well. Like I had moments where I can do dramas, and then I had moments where I did comedy, but I couldn't always do comedy because I always found the dramas more interesting, more in depth. Like if I had to do a comedy, well, like I like comedy with ebbs and flows, right? Like if I did something that was just slapstick and always had to do that, I just don't know if I could do it. Like, you know what's crazy? I think stand-up comedians are a lot more... It's not always comedy. There's always some sort of... there's a lot of seriousness that goes on with stand-up comedy as well. That's why I like... You know, Robin Williams, George Carlin, a lot of the stand-ups. Like, they do amazing work. Yeah. I'm thinking more if there's a sale or some hype. Wait, what's going on? It's exhausting? Yeah, it's exhausting to be funny all the time. It really is. It's actually a lot of hard work. When you see somebody who's actually really funny, it actually takes a lot of hard work, and they should be praised for that because it's not easy whatsoever to always be the funny man. And especially if that's the expectation. I know a lot of people who have made comedy their life, and when they met the individual and they said, "Oh, you're the funny guy, you should tell us a joke," and they got nothing. You know, they don't have jokes at that moment because there's a moment where you turn it on and you turn it off, you know? I think the best thing is to not set an expectation for comedy, not set an expectation for forced community, and just let things happen. If they happen, if they don't, then, I mean, you know, obviously they don't. What the heck? I'm just missing all kinds of crazy stuff, dude. Oh, hello. What? Poke out, please. Bro, I'm gonna get pushed by another guy. Oh my god, dude. Why am I the only one that's objective? I'm so dead. I can stay funny when I'm with people and do it in pubs when I'm alone. It's exhausting. Yeah, because you have to like create it spontaneously. I'm thinking more if there's a sell some hype, like a stream or two, you know, stream there, like Resident Evil when you stream. That's more what I'm thinking. Now, the reason why I don't do single player games all the time is because I don't want there to be the expectation that I'm going to do constant single player games. The only reason why I would stream Resident Evil or certain games is because that's a game that I just hold dear to my heart. Like Resident Evil in general, I love those games, dude. Like I can just hop in, I know for a fact we're going to have a good time because it's a game that even if the camera wasn't on me, I would just generally just really love doing it, you know? There's also a side of me where I obviously make a bit more of a dark humor whenever I play. Like I contemplated playing with a friend on Resident Evil 5. We mentioned that we would play together on a Sunday, maybe like Sunday morning or something like that. Maybe I would stream that, but at the same time, people know me as very quote-unquote PC. So that's like, maybe I should just keep that one to myself. Maybe I should just chill. You know what I mean? There's a part of you that you should always keep for yourself, because if you share everything that you do, then you don't ever get time for yourself. So it's a dangerous path, man. What the heck? Oh my god, dude. What are you doing there? Hey, Torbus, what's up, man? Yeah, but I know that if because you have to be careful with the expectation that you set whenever you do a channel. This is also advice I would give for anybody whenever they're streaming. If you do certain games and somebody follows you for, let's say, a single player game, let's say like you did a lot more of those one-offs, the expectation is that you're going to continue to do it because you're putting on a show. That's a show you put on when people subscribe to you. If you switch, let's say like, because Apex naturally is thankfully within the FPS genre, but let's just say I started streaming real-time strategy games like Command & Conquer or Warcraft 3. It doesn't work. Now, if I streamed Warcraft 3 or Command & Conquer or even World of Warcraft, and I built an audience to it, and then I randomly came back to Battlefield, it breaks that expectation of what show you're putting on. So you have to be very, very careful. And you can obviously create the expectation that you just stream whatever you want. But it definitely hurts growth unless you're already a massive name and known for something, you know? Oh, you're fine, Torbus. No worries, man. How did that not headshot him? We've been talking so much. We've been kind of like just chilling, shooting, you know? It's not a bad thing. That's literally why I do this. I wish you could jump on this, dude. You should be able to. Movement is so restricted at times. Kind of miss the more free-flowing movement. If I push this, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna go anyways. Shoot, dude. Nightfall, Apex, I'm so alike. I don't see the problem with single-player games. You have to look at it from more of a streamer perspective. You can't. There's a difference between looking at something from a viewer's perspective and then from a streamer perspective. There's a lot of questions you have to really ask yourself when you're doing it. If you're not careful, it sets the wrong precedence and it can create a trap. Yet, like, let's say for example, you did not like Apex, and you streamed it, and you got a lot of viewership on it, and you got a lot of followers, and that's what you started building a name around. And then you switched to a different game, and people would say, "Why did you switch?" You've already set the expectation that that's what you're doing, and if you change it, it's extremely hurtful towards what you're trying to build. You know what I mean? It's not good. So it's why variety channels are so difficult to grow, and why, like, there's a lot of people that I watch that have done variety, but I will not watch them when they play X, Y, and Z game, even though I think they're fantastic streamers, because there's things that I like. You know, you're not going to be able to have somebody who likes comedies, dramas, and every form of facet of entertainment, right? You'll get a few. Here's a great example. Robin Williams is a fantastic actor, right? He performs in comedies, and you love him for his comedies, but then he goes and does a drama, but that's not what you want to watch Robin Williams for. So then you decide and say, I'm not watching Robin Williams dramas or Jim Carrey's dramas because I like his comedy. It's hard for them because they've already set the expectation that they're the funny man, and it's difficult to build yourself out of that. You go, soldier. You will like Titanfall? I tested the game. I know I like Titanfall. Dazz, delete this game. Too much aimbot use, man. It's crazy, dude. big issue in the game. I won't disagree with it. What do you think about the new coming RAE? Bro, I'm gonna be the minute that comes on Steam and everything, I'm gonna stream it. I love Resident Evil, dude. I love it. I love the franchise. There's only one that has let me down, like big time, and that was Resident Evil 6. That's probably the one that I felt most disappointed in playing. And I was like, what happened to this? Ooh, that was a nice shot. I was like, what happened to this franchise, you know? I got most of my community from Battlefront. Then I got quite burned out. I wanted to switch it up a little. Most of my audience kind of only came when I did Star Wars Battlefront, though my core audience, yeah. And most people, you can't fault an audience for that because that's what they watch. It's like if every day after school Pokemon was showing, right? And they went to the same channel every single day and they said, oh my god, Pokemon's on. And then they went to the same channel and then they got switched up and they said, okay, we're gonna post Digimon. And they're like, well, what's wrong? They're both pocket monsters, right? They both have that, like, ooh, you know, you gotta catch them. It's so cool, right? And people are like, no, I just like Pokemon. Thank you. Thank you for broadcasting on this channel. I think you guys do a great job, but I'm gonna watch Pokemon, you know? But that's just the reality. Oh, you know what I just realized? I think I realized that on the issue. Hold on. I'll do an intermission, but I think I just discovered the issue. Fine for now, though. Oh, that is me. Yeah. But then the minute Digimon shows up, which is like literally the same product, you know? If you like sniping, just try Hell Let Loose. Oh, that game? I don't know. The thing that, like, with World War III and Hell Let Loose is that I look at them and I see that there's a lot of potential, but everyone says they want to watch it, but in reality, that's not what they want. So I don't want to get too much into a franchise that like that when it has very little following to begin with, you know? That's something that to be very, very careful of as well. You have to look at the numbers and see what's actually happening and going on, and then make a decision. Because somebody could say this game is amazing, you should really try this, but then if you look at the audience for it and it just isn't there, then it's not going to net the results that you're looking for, you know, right? What? How did that not kill him? Well, I tried. Let me switch to my phone. It's almost 3 a.m. I need to go to bed. All right, sounds good. Wait, what did you try? Try what? I also saw snipers running on Titanfall. Oh, about Titanfall? No, I won't be able to play it, man. There's just not enough people watching it. There isn't a market, and I'm not. You have to keep in mind, I'm not a large enough name to do that kind of thing. I appreciate giving me credit for it, but I'm not large enough to do it. I don't have the following for it. And if I did have the following for it, I probably would continue to stream what people watch me for. At least that's what I would aim for, at least. I think I found this issue, though. Fun. Appreciate you guys being here tonight. I know I didn't start at my normally scheduled time. Works. Trying to fix this other thing. I get a little bit of time in between rounds to try to fix it. Doesn't work, I'm gonna give up on the event list. It's fine. Okay, that doesn't work. It's whatever. Oh, get me to play Titanfall 2? Yeah, it's probably not gonna work. Like, if you look up on the Twitch directory, it's probably better if I just stream Battlefield 5. That's what people are gonna watch me for. I won't get the same viewership. 1.58K on Twitch for Titanfall. That's not bad. But keep in mind, if I've been playing as much Apex as I have, and I can't generate an audience on Apex yet, there's not much hope for me on for that either. You know what I mean? I have to make a decision to tackle larger directory and kind of build my name, or stick with Battlefield. And my default would be to probably stick with Battlefield. And if I play Titanfall or single player games, I'll probably just play them for my for myself, essentially. Because there's got to be a separation of what you do for fun and then work. And so what I have to juggle on the daily is I work from 9 to 5:30. That's my day job. And then I have to juggle things with SoaR also as a job. And then I have to make sure that I stream and create YouTube content. So there's very little time for where I get to enjoy things. So when I get that time, I have to be careful not to make every single thing I do work, so to speak. Otherwise, you never will end up with something for you. So the single player games, I usually stick with my fiance and I. Like if we play Witcher, and I wish we had more time for it because I know we need to finish some of them together. But yeah, it's a life balance thing. It's constantly something you have to work on to try to get better at. You know, you don't get it right away. You know, I'm not saying I have it right now, but I'm hoping to get better with balancing that.
Panzer da drüben.
Is that new skin? Can't believe people bought that skin. No offense, but hey, it's your money. Oh my god. Hey, campaign, it's good to see you. Welcome back, dude. When you have the time, keep it for your wife. You deserve it. I appreciate it. Not wife yet, but going to be. Like we played Spider-Man, God of War, Detroit Become Human, a lot of those games, but I try to keep that. I thought about having us do more of it on stream, but then where's the, again, it becomes the issue of where do you have the line between life and work? There's only so long I'm going to be able to juggle my day job and streaming and SoaR. There's going to come a point where I'm just going to be like, I can't anymore. And I've kind of gotten close to hitting that at some points, but I try to get better and better at it. Not easy. Imagine it hit the guy. I knew there was somebody in the smoke. I just don't know where. I kind of took a random shot. Oh, shoot. It's not a bad round, though. Let's get started at least. There's a whole different scenario, though. If Battlefield kept growing and became a really big game, I would never have met individuals like Ducky. I don't know if he's still even here in chat. I don't think I would have met individuals like Ducky or done the stuff that I'm doing within SoaR Gaming if Battlefield 5 or Battlefield in general became the game that it was supposed to be. So everything really happens for a reason. I know I don't talk about a lot of the stuff that I do on the side most of the time, but there is a lot of big stuff that like I was working on today and that are in the works, and I know that my help probably would not have been given so much if Battlefield was in, if like my content just consumed everything, you know? But like I said, stuff happens for a reason, and maybe I needed to be in the spot where I'm at or working on the things I'm working on to try to make a better, I don't know, environment. Your health is pretty bad, I hear you. I think that's a lot of things for people. You know, health has been a very big issue because, you know, I don't know your health situation, but I know being cooped up inside all the time for quarantine, especially in NYC. We're supposed to be opening up a bit more, but I live in Manhattan, which is like the last place that's going to be opened. I miss the gym a lot. It's hard. It's hard, man. I cannot see. Almost daily streams the name and SoaR. Almost daily streams the name and SoaR. Good. Oh, I gotcha. You know what? I used to stream 7 days a week back in the day for Battlefield 1. I streamed 7 days a week for almost 2.5 years. I was very consistent with it. It's where I got my biggest amount of growth, and I realized that I had to pull back because I couldn't balance it out anymore. And I had to take care of my health a bit more, and I had to figure things out. You can be very, it's very difficult for content creators most of the time. I know I talk about SoaR and the stuff that I do in it. Initially, I was only signed as a content creator for the team, but I worked really hard within the team, and I saw passion. I saw a lot of potential and a lot of love within the team. And I decided, because with my experience within Ascend, to make an offer to help things in SoaR. Like, I offered to help. It's really all that took place. I was like, I would like to help. I have ideas, and I've seen these ideas work, and I know that I can help. And that's literally how I got to where I'm at. It's back problem. Hopefully we'll get a surgery this year, and my migraines is a lot to juggle. I hear you, man. Hear you, bro. I hope things get better. I know, especially during these crazy times right now, it's not the easiest balance, but I know that you're doing the best you can. And don't stop doing the best you can, you know?
Return to the combat area.
The city's a really quiet place, but I'm getting stressed. Hardest subject left, and all my friends are going to the army, so it's kind of quiet. I gotcha. I live in the opposite spectrum, where everything is very loud and very busy and very... Where is this guy? Did they change these outer bounds areas? I thought there was more. What the heck are you doing? Couldn't hear him because I went into the zone, and obviously the audio gets cut off, and that's when he started running. Oh, he got up at the right moment, dude. Oof. Rip. But I do a lot within SoaR as a team, so I think that's what I was trying to wrap up on, is that the amount of things that I do within the team is quite, the list is quite large, because my role is listed as general manager, so I touch a lot of different things within the team, from just, I don't know, just quite literally everything to a certain degree. I said, again, reiterating, to a certain degree, you know? It's not like I make final decisions on everything. 5 hours a week. Almost never a middle. I hear you, MTL. And that's okay. You don't always have to be at 100%, man, you know? I don't know anybody that's always feeling like they're at 100%. Oh, there's another. That sucks. 5 hours outside of strike can obviously be outside the house. Gotcha. Did he get fired from Twitch? Who? Dr. Disrespect? Hey, thank you, Annie. Or Ann? How do you say your name? Is it Annie? Because I see there's a 1 that can stand for an I. That's good to have here. Welcome. Evening, Choppers. Good to see you. How's everything going, dude? I know that's definitely a big talking point, the Dr. Disrespect thing. Pretty crazy.
Be aware we have lost objective data.
Oh, talking about you actually? Oh, me. No. I decided to randomly stream on YouTube because we were just having... I've been playing, just as FYI, I've been playing a lot of, God bless the best sniper in Battlefield. I appreciate it, dude. No, the only reason why I'm streaming on YouTube is I just decided for the last few days that I wanted to try to understand where my audience's head was at. Because on Twitch, Battlefield in general has really dropped off. It's practically a dead directory for Battlefield 4, Battlefield 5, Battlefield 1. And the only reason viewership would increase is if the people like SoaR and stuff like that bring a lot of viewers to it. But then the question gets asked, what are those people watching? I know a lot of people on my YouTube are subscribed for Battlefield. And I'm trying to figure out if those people are still... Like, I know there's generally a small group of individuals who are interested in Battlefield. But obviously the game has definitely deteriorated over the course of the past year specifically. And I want to migrate more to Apex Legends, especially for Twitch, which is pretty much what I'm going to focus my Twitch broadcast on, which is Apex Legends. But then I decided, you know what? Because I was doing every Saturday Battlefield 5, and I said, you know what I should do? I should test it to see if I can boost the YouTube channel and garner more views over here, as that's where most people who watch Battlefield content are, because they're not on Twitch. If they were, the Twitch directory would be up in the thousands, and it's barely in the 300s, maybe 200s. It's not a bad thing. It just says that that's not where people are watching Battlefield. So I wonder if they're over here instead. And the thing is that I haven't tweeted about the stream. I didn't put it on my Discord. I just went live on YouTube to kind of see what would happen. I'm also on my off hour, so that doesn't help it either. Oof, another bomber. The franchise had deteriorated. I mean, yeah. Well, like this game, like the franchise, like, okay, Battlefield 4 is still a good game, you know, solid, and so is Battlefield 1, you know, it's... And, you know, that's the interesting thing. It's like if people are watching Battlefield on Mixer's dead. You know, that's obviously... Now, if you know, people say dead platform, nothing really ever dies until it's got, like... Until it's been shut off, you know? So, I guess that's where the question is, and that's why I was randomly streaming on here. Because I was like, maybe if I just move all my Twitch streams to Apex, which I've kind of already done for the most part. And if I just... Because, you know, what the question that we were talking about earlier, Jars, is, well, why don't you stream Call of Duty Warzone? I saw that as well. Especially in the comment section. But it's not a game that I enjoy as much. I don't find it... I want something competitive, and that's where I get that itch from Apex Legends. And I can tell for the most part that... I don't know. I just don't want to hop on that hype train. I want to hop on the Apex hype train. Or if Battlefield happens to pop off on YouTube, then we'll do Battlefield. Because I know it works very well for some creators, like Broken Machine. It's like, maybe it just won't work for me, okay? And I'm totally fine with that. If, let's say, if it doesn't happen. Or, like, what happens if I stream on YouTube and all of a sudden, like, tons of people are watching all at once? That would be insane. But that's not it's not what I'm expecting. But I also want to have a conversation with everyone. And I guess just see. You know? Oh, can't believe I missed that. Teams play that stupid Fortnite. Yeah. You know, I saw a lot of new Battlefield players in Bf5. Yeah, but I can't play it because of DDoS. The only fans that are still around are nostalgic older guys. That kind of seems like the case. I'm trying to find that middle ground of like what would be interesting. Is it Battlefield? Is it Apex? Is it... It's not Valorant. I thought it was going to be Valorant. I was wrong on that mark. It definitely... It's popular on Twitch, but it is not popular on YouTube, to say the least. It is only for certain individuals. I mean, I got the stream to recommended page. And that's kind of the interesting part. I figured that it might. And I don't, you know, and this is the thing, that on YouTube, there's only 1.8 thousand people watching Apex, which means that it's not worth streaming Apex on this platform. But if people get recommended this because they watch for Battlefield, and I can introduce them to whether it's Apex or I just stick every Saturday at Battlefield, I'm down for that, to be honest. I've already been doing it on the Twitch. So if it works better here, I'll do it. But I know for a fact, because Twitch right now, you can probably look, it probably has 30,000 people watching Apex. And I think there's probably tops 300 to 400 watching Battlefield 5. It kind of gives you the answer where growth is. So Valorant didn't live up to the hype. It lived up to the hype to a degree. I'm actually shocked of how much the casual audience pushed back against it. People are like, the audience is more welcoming to Apex Legends, Call of Duty Warzone, and Escape from Tarkov than they are with Valorant. They look at Valorant and they say that it looks bad graphically, which is, it's a design choice, and they think that it's boring. I think it's a great competitive game. It's very early in its infancy. It has a lot of bugs and a lot of issues, but I can see the appeal to it. I enjoy it. But it doesn't mean that everyone else enjoys it. And I said, you know what? This isn't going to work. It doesn't capture the audience that I currently have. And the only way I can really break into the scene is if I'm a pro player. And I play professionally in it. But to be honest, because I have a lack of CSGO experience, I don't know if that's going to happen. I have a higher shot of playing competitively in Apex Legends, which I've already been kind of doing to a degree, than I do playing competitively in Valorant. And sometimes you just have to be honest with what is going on right there. Is that bugged? I think that's bugged. Yeah, I think Valorant does a great job of doing that. This, like, revitalizing that CSGO feel. But a lot of people who watch Valorant don't watch Battlefield. It's a whole new culture and a whole new audience. And I need to find something that kind of, to a degree, grooves with Battlefield. And I kind of found that chaos within Apex, and a lot of people kind of do. And I was like, okay, that's where it's at. Or Warzone. Those are the two options that I have. It's either Apex Legends or Warzone, and my choice for me personally is Apex, even though the viewership is a little lower, but there's definitely potential. Also, SoaR is very well known for Apex Legends, and that can definitely help. And they're also known for Call of Duty, so there's also that too. So there's pluses to it. You know what I mean? How are the snipes going? Not too bad, man. Not too bad. I've been averaging above 35 kills per match on Valorant. Is using mouse on PS4 considered cheating? I have no idea. I don't play console. 150 on Battlefield 5 on Twitch. Yeah, that's rough. That's half of what I said. I said 300. Now, you have to put the math in perspective. If somebody's a brand new streamer and there's 100 people watching on Twitch, and you say, I want to get 1,000 followers, and the director really has 150 people, do you think that 150... First, you got to get all 150 people to follow you, and then you're going to have to generate more people to follow you outside of that. And so that can be very difficult to do. It's good to initially start on a smaller directory when you're first starting, but then you obviously have to branch out from there, or else you will naturally stagnate. That's just math, unfortunately. Keep thinking that guy's alive right there. Oh, I guess now he might be. Nope, he's dead. You're in Apex, Necro, and COD. Yeah, and then you know what's crazy? Fireborn bounces between the two. He plays Apex and he plays Warzone. He literally switches between the two. I actually find it pretty funny. Oh, hello. Poor guy. Almost got him. Yeah, you know what's crazy? If Battlefield 6 comes out, then I will play the crap out of it. I will thoroughly create every single guide. I'll play it. And when it does, that's going to be amazing. But that ain't coming for another year and a half. That's going to be at the end of 2021. I guarantee it'll come out around November or December time frame, and even October at the earliest of 2021. Maybe we'll get a beta a year from now in the summer, but it'll be just a beta. And I'll play it, but even then, 1 year. So I gotta fill the time with something in a year from now, you know? I just can't keep doing the same thing for a year, and I gotta get better. Because if I don't get better, then when Battlefield 6 comes around, I'm gonna get crapped on. You know? I don't like this being considered as crazy ambitious. I don't either. You're one of the best BF streamers on the planet. Thank you so much, dude. I appreciate that. Skill-wise, I gotcha. And you still struggle to garner the views you deserve. A regular streamer has no chance with this franchise. That's not true. That's not true. Streaming is not necessarily on skill. Sometimes it's just on timing, personality, and algorithm. That's why I always say that literally any creator could pop off at any moment if you just started streaming and you were consistent, and the algorithm just favors you and you just happen to have that lottery, right? So it's not necessarily... It can help being better, but sometimes just being angry or happy or anything could really help. Yo, Farley, welcome back, dude. It's good to see you, man. What's up, dude? But all that can make a big difference in towards of what the name that you're trying to generate, right? So it's not always about that. Maxic is a great mention of somebody, because sometimes you can have a massive audience, but YouTube can punish you. And it's not because somebody drops off. You can miss a few weeks in terms of content, and then YouTube says, I'm not going to push you in the algorithm. So you could get very much punished by the algorithm and by how the system works. It's by pushing yourself through the system that you become a larger name and grow. A game could be popular on YouTube if the algorithm pushes it to be popular. It's kind of weird to say, but when you really think about it, a lot of stuff that we all watch, it's because of an algorithm that pushes something that says we like this or we don't like this. It's not necessarily because you choose to like it. It's because a system has predetermined that you may or may not like it, which is kind of creepy when you think about it that way, but it's not. I don't know if it's intended to be creepy like that, but that's just how it works, right? You log into YouTube, you get recommended. Those people that are recommended, when you look at their video and you click on it and you get a view, will push somebody else to get that content recommended to them as well. And that's literally how the cycle goes, right? It goes round and round and round. So sometimes you say, how is that creator so large? It's like, well, sometimes they just got a little lucky with the algorithm. It doesn't mean they're better. It doesn't mean they're worse. It just means that it's just a little different, you know? Holy. Yeah. I mean, and Rella's a fantastic player. Everyone has something to learn and grow from. I know I have so much to learn and grow from, and so does individuals like Rella in terms of aim. And how you get better at aiming never stops. Where's Dark Betrayed? I guess he really stopped gaming, you know? He really stopped for the longest time. He probably is playing CSGO, but he doesn't create content, and that's just not his end goal. A lot of what demotivated a ton of the Ascend guys, like Betrayed and stuff like that, or Decade, is that YouTube punished anybody back in those days who utilized copyrighted music. And a lot of montage creators like Betrayed and Decade utilized, even if they weren't like mainstream songs, like maybe epic music that was copyrighted. And if you use copyrighted material, YouTube pushes you down the algorithm and you no longer are favored through watch time. So you can get a lot of views, but YouTube has said, well, that's copyrighted music, so we can't push it. You know? So that really answers why they're not around. It's why this channel struggled for a little while in terms of rebuilding itself, because a lot of claims came through to take down a lot of the content because it was copyrighted. And I try to preserve as much on the Nova Gaming channel here as humanly possible, because like I downloaded every video before they had a copyright claim on it, just to make sure that we had it, you know? When will you be streaming today? You mean tomorrow? I don't know if I'll be able to stream tomorrow. I'm going to spend time with my fiance, and I'm also going to be running an event. Miss Rella, dude wasn't human. Everyone has flaws in their aim, just don't forget that. Even though it seems like it's impossible to do something, it's very much possible for you to do it. I think that's something I try to instill and teach. The difference is that it takes time, and it also takes realizing what their flaws are and how you capitalize on those flaws. Trees, please try to play with the controller. I don't know, maybe. Try long shots? I could try. I'd use my subscription box on YouTube, only recommended. I think I'm probably one of the weird people that actually utilize the subscription box. Obviously, you try to reiterate on each game, but you should not focus on super ambitious features and mechanics. I think that's the issue that occurred with Battlefield 5, is that if they have a year and a half until this game comes out and they're working on super ambitious things, those super ambitious things are either going to do very well or they're going to do very poorly. In my opinion, I don't think that Battlefield can risk doing anything super risky or ambitious, because what if it doesn't work? I think they're going to lose a lot of faith. It has already been a bit tarnished. Not even a bit tarnished. It's been tarnished from a community standpoint, right? I mean, it is what it is. It's been tarnished. The view. And they usually fix games, but this one just didn't get up there, unfortunately. It had a lot of potential. It could have been fixed, but it did not. I mean, like we were looking at the K38, 31, it's still broken. Are you going to end your stream today? When are you going to? Oh, probably like an hour and a half from now. Maybe 2. I've come to the point that being that bad is actually talent. And that point, I guess you could look at it at that point. That's a positive way to look at it. In reality, anybody can be taught to aim. It's your decision making that requires a lot of teaching as well. I know Ender's actually put together a pretty great video. You know, it's like whenever you're in the heat of the moment and you take fights or you don't take fights, you have to ask yourself the many questions like, okay, should I push here or should I go around? If I look at my mini map and I see where I'm pushing here, realistically, there's going to be damage. There's going to be somebody peeking around the area, so I'm going to rotate left, right? Most logical spot to get a safe spot. So I can hedge glitch here, I can play a little safe. I can poke here, try to get a kill. If I stay here too long, I'm going to die. If you locate left, I'm going to keep pushing over here. If I keep pushing up too far, I'm probably going to get hit by a tank or get sniped at a different angle. These are the things you have to think about when you're playing. You know, like that thought process. And I'm kind of doing it while I'm talking out loud of like where enemies are going to be at. So most likely I see somebody shooting over here. They're probably going to be on the left-hand side. If I look over here, there might be somebody here. There's not. I'm going to keep sitting here. I'm going to strafe. If I stay here too long, I could get shot over here on the left if I'm not paying attention. I'll chill. I'll pull up a little bit here. And I see all my friendlies are here not getting shot, but there might be a tank rolling up here in just a second. If I rotate right here, there might be a tank. There's an individual, there's a person. Let's see if I can push up and get shot. I got the high ground on him, so I'm okay. He killed him. I'm gonna look over here on the left. If I stand here out in the open too long, I get sniped. There's a vehicle in front of me on the far side over there. I'm gonna keep peeking. There's one guy here. Headshot him and getting shot. I'm gonna rotate left and go get more heals. Then I'll rotate back if I need to. I have height, but I know that he's down below and he's expecting me, so I can't peek at the same angle. So I'll try to take a different angle as I'm peeking. So there are a lot of people here. I'm gonna keep moving because if I stand there, see that guy already took a shot. He's probably gonna hit me right after. And I can try to get that guy again. I'll keep rotating in different angles. There's people shooting me on my right, but I'm hoping that my teammates will cover me for the split second. They did not, and I died. See, that's the stuff that you have to think about while you're playing, essentially, but you have to think about it and be confident with it as you're making a decision, you know? And if you talk about it out loud when you're making a decision, if you can say it out loud, then you can make the decision in real time without saying anything and be perfectly fine. If you can't say it out loud, it means you don't know what to do. And if you don't know what to do, you should ask yourself, what should you do? Like, okay, there's a tank, so I'm going to rotate this other side, right? There's no reason for me to push the tank because I can't do any damage to him. But if I rotate far this side, I got low ground. So I should probably get on the high ground as fast as humanly possible, or else I'm going to be fighting from a low ground. Okay, there's one guy here. He's dead. There's probably somebody on my right-hand side. There's not. I'm safe. I'm probably going to get shot. He's over there. All I can do is flare. Maybe that tank's over here. Maybe not. Like, you're always, like, creating these thoughts. This is what you have to do. And then if you can't do it, look over your VOD and ask yourself what you need to do better, you know? You essentially, most of the time, you're gambling. You're making very educated guesses. You do the same thing in Battle Royales as you do in a game like Battlefield. Quite literally. I don't know if people realize that, but the way games play out in Battlefield play out very similarly to a Battle Royale game. I also kind of find it weird that people say, oh, Battlefield, another Battle Royale game. But the decision making and the decisions you make in a Battle Royale game are the same decisions that you would make in Battlefield, you know? One Red Bull a day, right? Hey, Roy, it's good to see you. How can you improve your reaction time? You can't. shoot. I'm dead. There's no way I'm living. This guy's horrible. I should have died 10 years ago. Like I wasn't looking, obviously. Like, what could I have done better there? Well, look. So I knew the tank was going to be there. Pencil ignited, taking notes. This is the stuff that I would like to talk about in guides and stuff like that. And I think it's what I'm going to focus more on. But it's hard to make that type of content and make it thorough and have it make sense and teach it, essentially. But how you play Battlefield is how you should play a Battle Royale. And how you play a Battle Royale game is how you should play Battlefield. Like, so if you're playing Battlefield, let me just back up at the back of the map and you assess the situation. Let's pretend this is a giant circle. It's literally the same way that you would play a Battlefield game. Like, quite literally, a Battle Royale game and Battlefield play the exact same way. If I'm pushing here and I see that there's a circle closing in and I see I need to get to this spot, what are my options here? What do I need to do? If I look over here on the left, I see there's one guy. I'll take a shot. I miss, and he backs up, right? What are my options? I can sit here, but I need to get on the objective. So I'm gonna post up left, right? Now I see they threw a thing right here. I see there's a team over here. That could be obviously my teammates. I need to take height. I'm not going to take a low ground fight or else I'm at a disadvantage. Obviously, if I'm a sniper, I have long range advantage, but I just chill, right? You think the same mindset of how you approach a Battle Royale game or CSGO is the same mindset approach of how you approach Battlefield. There is no difference. There's just variables. If I tell you things that you should never do in Battlefield, you can sometimes do it because people just suck at the game, and you can just pull out some stupid stuff. Hey, yo, Sog, it's good to see you. Love your passion, love what you do. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you. Gambling with my life. What happened? You talk so fast, so much. Well, those are the thoughts that are coming out, right? Those are the thoughts that you have to think about when you're playing. Those, like, I'm just reiterating the internal clock or things that are going into my mind, right? So as I'm playing, I'm going through that in my head and I'm making those decisions, you know? I appreciate it, Blood. I appreciate it, dude. Also, Sog, I appreciate you. Thank you so much, man. But people don't look at their gameplay that way, and that's part of the problem of why people don't get better at Battlefield. And when they hop into a Battle Royale, they feel truly lost, is because they didn't apply the same mindset of how you play Battlefield into a Battle Royale or CSGO. So what is this, Aerodrome or attacking? This is a great example of how you should approach a game and how you should snipe, but people don't do it. And also, I'll turn off the music. Reaction time cannot get better. You are humanly restricted. You can improve it maybe like 10%, maybe. And even then, it's not going to make a difference in making you a better player. My thoughts when I'm playing is pretty much, all right, who's getting sniped today?
Yeah, boy.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So, if you're pushing a point, do you read Twitter messages if I sent you one? Yeah, of course I do, man. I try. Okay, so if I'm pushing here, right now I'm at a low ground, but I can kind of head glitch an area, and I know a team is right here. So realistically, I would duck and weave from an area. If I take a shot, I would never peek from the same spot again. And if I do, then I'm pretty much just egoing somebody, thinking that they suck. So if I got to keep moving. You keep moving, making adjustments, and I'm getting an off angle here on somebody, right? Which makes it much easier to get killed. So I keep rotating. This is literally what you would do in a Battle Royale. You would keep rotating. You would rotate left. You would make informed decisions. What the heck is that guy doing? Now, if I died to somebody and he respawns, he's going to look in the same spot because he's a Pepega, right? So, and if I take a shot and the guy was like, oh, well, where did that bullet come from? Okay, so I need to make an informed decision to relocate. I'm by myself right now. I'll push up this way and I'll relocate at a different angle. I can spot out to get some information. I'm gonna go to a different spot. You have to think like this. And the thing is that once you do it enough, it'll come naturally, I promise. You won't actually have to think super hard about it. You have to instill basic principles and practices. If, like, for example, oh shoot, I'm dead. If I saw somebody at the top of that hill, I would never push that position if I knew people were going to push from there. The reason why is because there is no reason to, because I'm at a disadvantage. My hitbox is the size of a truck, and his is a small size of a head. So to even the odds a little bit, I take this spot right here, and all that's peeking is my head. His full body is peeking out over there. And for some reason, people who are really bad at Battlefield say this. They say, oh, the hitbox is so large, I'm going to go prone. Fantastic, you went prone, and now you're a stationary target. You literally have given the enemy all the time in the world to shoot you. That's the mistakes people make. The issue you also run into in Battlefield is that when there's a lot of bad players in a lobby, the lobby becomes unpredictable. That's also a problem when the lobby becomes unpredictable, because then you don't really know what to anticipate. And when the lobby is really good, you can't make the same ballsy choices and decisions that you want to make. You just can't. It doesn't work that way. And the issue of why in Ascend or montage clips the standard gets up higher and higher is because it assumes that as the game ages, it gets easier and easier to hit clips because the player-based skill drops over the years. Right now, Battlefield's in a weird spot where they have a lot of tryhards in it. Or hackers, one of the two. I don't really know, to be honest, which one. Is that you run into people that are just super sweaty and are taking the game really, really seriously. And that's great. I think that's fantastic because that's, you know, that's the way you should play it. What the heck is happening to that guy, dude? How did I miss that? Is that Battlefield 5 is not perfectly balanced for competitive. That's what the... How did I miss that, dude? It's not perfectly balanced for competitive, so it's not inherently fair. And whenever you start making really competitive decisions, sometimes you just have to rely stuff to RNG because that's just what it is. It's just pure RNG, and there's nothing you can do ifs, ands, or buts about it. If you were going to play the meta of what Battlefield has created, you would play the medic class and nothing else. The medic class provides you full heals, can provide you free rotation, and you don't have to worry about much of attrition in terms of heals. Like right now, I have attrition. I'm at 87 HP. If the player is of equal skill level to me, I'm dead. I should not really survive somebody who is even like 80% or 80 or 90% of my skill. I should be dead. Flat out. If I was playing competitive. What the heck is happening here? Hooah! That got him. Did they nerf the revolver? The revolver sucks now, man. What is wrong with this gun? Am I using the different revolver? I don't really know. Ah! I don't know where I'm being shot from. I kept looking and there's nobody there. But yeah, this is kind of why I wanted to do the streams, because maybe like a passionate person from YouTube will actually come across this and watch this. Because I know on Twitch they don't necessarily always watch the VODs, but maybe they'll watch this YouTube VOD and maybe learn a thing or two. Rip me. Good, people need to experiment and not follow meta. Well, that's the thing, is that a game will be, when it becomes popular and the competitive players get into it, there's always a meta. There's always one. It just will happen. And there is a meta in Battlefield, and it exists, and it's a very hard meta. You pretty much need to run medic, and you need to run the jungle carbine or some other crazy SMG gun close range. That's the gun you have. That's what you have to run. That's the most meta thing in Battlefield. Play medic, and just spam the heals, and you'll be fine. And the other counter meta to it is just spam tanks, because they're also very difficult to take out. So technically running a bolt action sniper is not meta, and it's a lot more difficult to pull off because you don't have the HP, so you have to think a lot harder. Because you've got a bolt action, you don't get unlimited health. You're pretty much screwed. If I get shot right now and I use my health pack, I don't have any means to get myself out of a situation if the enemy player is a decent skill level. That's a forced meta. It's why you don't see a lot of recon class, because it doesn't make any sense to run, really. Like what I'm doing right now doesn't make sense to run. I can only get tips to make people play better, but it's also a very high expectation to do so, and it's very unrealistic and unfair. That's the meta that they put in the game, and they have to adjust it, and they're probably not going to at this point, you know? Oh shoot, Jesus, dude. I counter my met reaction time with creativity. There's really not much creativity when you start looking at meta and what really works in a game. There's no such thing as creativity whenever you're forced to play a certain way. And that's the issue that Battlefield 5 poses, is that it forces individuals to play a certain way, and it doesn't create that sandbox experience. In reality, you can do what you want, but when you do so, you'll just be punished for it. You're not provided the unlimited heals like a medic would, and that's not balanced. That's not balanced there. That's not quote-unquote fun. There needs to be a balance to it, so there's a way to counter it. Otherwise, the expectation, the ask, is just be inherently better by a large margin compared to the other individual. And if you're not, you're going to lose. And if you lose, you're not helping your team, and then so forth and so forth. Also, the meta matters immensely because that's what they've built in terms of their map design. It's also why the game struggles a bit. But these are all things I've mentioned to the dev team and everything, and advice I've given, but they don't necessarily don't necessarily listen. Oh my God, did I die? I don't know what happened there. Can't react if I attack from where you don't look. That's not being creative in terms of meta. That's just called good positioning. That's not like, so let's say for example you're being creative and rotating. That's just called smart positioning. That's not meta. Meta is whenever you're forced to play a certain class. Like let's say you had everyone who is of equal skill level and everyone's making the same smart decisions. The underlying variable at the end of the day is the meta, what people are able to run and what they're not. Now, if the map is forced to play a certain way, let's say, for example, all of this was gone, which at one point with Aerodrome was a lot more flat. The meta at that point would be, well, I would rotate, take a different angle. I would do this at a different angle, right? Let's say a lot of the debris, like before they had it, was not here. Then the only option, if both players are playing of equal quote-unquote creativity, if that's the word you want to use for it, it's just called good gameplay. It's called good positioning and being a smart player. That's not... you can call it creativity or whatever you want to call it, but it's just called being smart. Now, if both players are equal level in terms of how they're playing, it starts to come down to how the map is designed and if it favors one side or the other. If the map is balanced, players can continue to play that mind game, that meta, or creativity on that front. But if it's not, then it steers one way or the other. Well, thank you, honey. No normal player would look there. Well, that's what happens whenever you're on the upper echelon or level, is that players start to learn to look that way. So if the meta shifts to where everyone starts to play that way, then that's what starts to happen. Like in Apex Legends or PlayerUnknown or CSGO, if people play and wait at a corner, people will start to check that corner and they'll say, okay, this is a popular spot to hold, it works. And then the meta starts to change onto that degree, right? But again, the problem that occurs with Battlefield is that you can try that, but the map design doesn't flow that way. It doesn't flow with a 50-50 balance where you can play mind games. It just starts to flow one way heavy or the other, where the other individuals have a massive advantage over height, or they have more cover in front of them. There's not a competitive mindset that is applied to it. That's what you have to understand. There's a difference between saying, oh, I'll just play at a different off angle. There's only so many angles that you can hold based on a certain situation. There's only so many angles that you can hold statistically. It's like when you play chess and you say, if I play chess, I'll just do a move that they're not expecting. The thing is that a good player is supposed to know even what a bad player would do. So I'm going to come back over here. I'm going to explain this situation. When you cut a corner, there's only so many places that an individual can be. Oh, I can't go that far. Okay. I wanted to showcase it because it's just a good example. So let's say this map right here, this is a really great example. So because a destruction occurs. When destruction occurs, you also need to keep in mind the balance that it's creating. So if I'm cutting the corner here, even if you say, well, I'll just chill right here, or I'm just going to chill up here, or I'm going to take an off angle right here. If you're cutting a corner and you're playing smart as a player, you start to cut, and know that they're right there. Or cut, and then flip like this. You're supposed to know that even if a bad player decides to go prone right here, or if they decide to go right here, or even if you decide to be kind of creative and take an off angle right here, or if you want to take this off angle right here, or even if you want to take the other angle right here, there's only so many different places that you can play. And if all this gets destroyed and there's nothing here, let's say like, okay, we'll advance a little further up, right? Let's say now you're trying to play meta, right? You're trying to say, I'm going to take an off angle, and now this wall is gone. There's no longer that nice little cover to play here. You have this angle, and if I come in the house, There's literally only a few spots that you can be, bro. And that's unfair. And like that doesn't create a competitive mindset. You no longer can play towards your advantage. And what meta becomes better than that MTL at that point? Let's say, for example, you got hit. And I saw that you got hit a mile away from somebody, right? You got hit once and I saw that. And I know the only option that you can play, and I know that you're not a medic class, and you hit me a little bit, what I would do to counteract what you would do immediately is spam my heals. Then I would come in at this angle and literally laser you down. And if you think you could run, you're dead here. You're literally dead. There's nothing you can do as a player. That is what's meta breaking about the game. There's no room for you, MTL, to play creatively and get yourself out of the situation if both players are of exact equal skill level. If both of you, let's say we'll throw a number. Let's say both of you are at 80% of your 100%. Like you guys are both on literally equal playing fields and people see both of your skills at equal level. It literally comes down to not reaction time. Reaction time doesn't save you there. It doesn't matter if you react faster and get a headshot or do anything. The only thing that can save you is quite literally just dumb luck. And that's where RNG comes in and where people get frustrated with the game or franchise. Like right now, obviously I get hit, I have no choice but to back up and rotate. I can no longer push. But if I was a medic, I could push and I could get creative with what I'm doing. But that's meta. So the only thing the option that I have is to retreat and back up. If I push forward, my odds of winning the encounter drop dramatically. I have to start using people as meat shields essentially to reposition to get a kill. That's the only thing I can do in that situation. It lowers the options for creativity because your options of pushing forward. Statistically, like as I move forward, if there was a little percentage of the risk of me dying, it would be like around 20%, 30%. Like it would start to drop. It would start to plummet by a massive way. So right now, my chances of survival are very low. And you know, there you go. I die. You know, because I get hit by an off angle. I didn't check there. That's not necessarily a creative angle to hold because I should have checked. You know. To go on the roof. But if there's no roof, there is no way for you to get creative with it. And if the issue in terms of Battlefield is that if there's animations, and this is what people complained about, if the animations take too long for what you want to do, you say, okay, I'm going to climb up, right? You're stuck in an animation. You can't do anything. So even if I cut the corner and I shot you at a distance, you said, well, I'm going to be creative and do something and jump on this, I'm stuck in an animation. I'm dead. So while that's realistic, the animation, it could really help you. The downside is that animations slow down the pacing of the game. And if the pacing of the game gets slowed down, there becomes less room for creativity. You know? So that even though I get what you're saying, you're not looking at it from a competitive mindset. I don't expect you to because you don't have that competitive experience. But I guess take this as a first course and lesson into that competitive space and realize that there's a reason why a lot of competitive players push and say it needs to be more fair. It's not fair for a player like you whenever you just go chop me more geometry than my math teachers could imagine, right? Pretty much. And Dominic, it's good to see you. Welcome. Is that for anybody watching that this is a great time to really say, to push Battlefield to be a better game. Because it needs to be more casual friendly, the game needs to be better balanced. It's not to say that the game becomes casual friendly because it's easier to do things. A great example of that would be bombardments or like a plane that flies by. If you, MTL, die to a plane, that's not necessarily a way to be creative to get you out of a situation. It's a one or nothing situation where the bomb comes over, you can do absolutely nothing. While that caters to the other individual because they can get easier kills, that doesn't leave any room for creativity. That doesn't leave any room for quote unquote chess. Think of a game like this or like a first person shooter, anything like chess. And in reality in chess, there's only so many different ways that it can play out. If we were to map out every single RNG scenario that could occur, the variables would end up with a certain number and they wouldn't be any more than that. The only way to differentiate between that is to be psychic and perceive the future and start to play absolute mind games. But even then you will run into a variable that you just cannot win. And you have to ask yourself, well, could I have aimed better? And if you could have, well, even then, you know, it's better to position yourself than rely solely on aim. And you know, I teach a lot how you get better at aim, right? But in reality, sometimes you have to look at the situation and say, was I in a completely disadvantageous position? Have I done this map? The hell? Did they change the opening of this? What map is this? What game am I playing now? It's the issue that Breakthrough has, to be honest. I love Breakthrough. It reminds me of Rush, and Rush was definitely a better game mode in my opinion because it was better balance. It wasn't perfect, don't get me wrong. It was not perfect, but it definitely needed... This is not what Battlefield necessarily needed. It was changing up the meta constantly when the meta is already so complex. There's a lot of variables, and some of them are... Why is this not landing, dude? For creativity. Because if we were to write down all the options that you had, the list would be a lot smaller than you realize of what you could or could not do and what would be unfair to you as a player. And trust me, I understand this better than you think. So I hope that you at least give me credit for it. It's why I give so much critical feedback on Battlefield, but it's probably why it's not listened to. Because a lot of people, a lot of the devs probably don't think I'm right, but I played enough of Battlefield, and sometimes what they think happens is not necessarily what happens on paper. It's like trying to constantly change up chess when it doesn't necessarily need to be made better because the foundation is right, you know? It's like saying when you play chess, every time I take a chess piece, you have to completely do a handstand. If you don't get the handstand, then you have to move back 2 spaces or something. You start adding weird rules into it. And it's like, well, that's kind of fun, but that's not what's going to make the most competitive thing, or does it make sense with the structure that's in place? I don't know. You just start throwing random things at stuff. I could start saying for every headshot, I'm going to take a piece of gum and keep eating gum until I explode or something. I don't know. And when you start creating a meta like that, it means that something isn't working or it's not holding your attention. And if it's not holding your attention, that means that there could be better balance or something that's more fun with the structure that's in place, I guess. I don't know. Because then you don't need to play chess and do a handstand. You could just have handstands tournaments or something. I don't know. Something that's a lot more interesting within that field. Doesn't mean you have to separate them, but I hope the analogy comes through and makes sense that you don't have to have... You don't have to force something. The new map, you know it? I don't know if I played this or not. I can't remember. Yeah, and the thing that Titanfall brings to the table, it's what I love about Apex as well, is that there's a movement system. There's creativity. There's options. There's variables. It's by no means perfect, but Titanfall was also built upon the people who made the first Call of Duty, and the first Call of Duty allowed for a lot more flexibility in terms of movement and in terms of grappling, moving around. I mean, the first Call of Duty didn't have grappling, but it was based upon the Quake engine, and your movement and how you moved around the map could be creative in a way. You knew certain scenarios would play a different way, but there was a skill ceiling, and there was an ability to get yourself out. And it's why I praise Apex for the game that it is. Because even though somebody is a better aimer, sometimes you could do something a little bit better with positioning, movement, or there's variables, and those variables make something interesting. Yeah, it's creativity. Players want to be creative. In Battlefield 4, you could be creative. The more restrictive a system is with more rules, the less fun it becomes. So if I have an animation every time I crawl up and I get stuck in an animation, let's say I win a firefight and I'm like, animation. You know? You're stuck doing that animation and you can't do anything else out of it. While that can be realistic and it can be fun, every other mechanic has to be better balanced. So this decision of animation makes sense, right? It means that the gunplay has to be more balanced. It means that the meta in terms of heals has to be balanced across the board. Because if I make a risky move like animation and I get hit and I go back and I'm a medic, I can just do animation again, right? But if I'm a sniper and I go animation and then I get hit and I go back and I say I can no longer do X, Y, and Z movement again, right? So if I go back and I say animation and I'm a sniper, I'm pretty much dead, right? That's why the medic class and other stuff can be a little silly, because there's things that just don't make a whole lot of sense. It exists, and it's why when they put attrition in the game, you have less options. Attrition can really work, but the game has to be centered around it, and a lot of the patches that have been introduced to Battlefield 5 counteract that. So let's say we want attrition to really matter, but then you up all the bullets and all the guns because you realize that attrition may not be what you want for the player base, right? Well, if attrition is not what you want, and that was the core mechanic, and you have all this stuff laying around, it starts to ruin the map flow, you know? And Levolution can be great and awesome, but it needs to be consistent. Something that Battlefield 5, I think that they did well is the Levolution was unique, and it started to really destroy the whole map and level it. But I think we forgot to think about, well, if a whole house goes down and that house is the only cover, what does the defending team do? Well, the option is, I think the devs have kind of said clearly, let's say all of this just disappeared, it was a flat land, and they said, well, don't worry, we're gonna build now. Okay, look how long it takes to build and how much time you're outside of the fight if you're building instead. You're like, okay, I'm gonna build, I'm gonna hop in. Oh, this whole area is down now, I'm gonna build. So as you're building, I just spent 3 times out of the fight, like 3 seconds out of the fight. 3 seconds that's incredibly valuable to getting a headshot, healing somebody, doing something, and it doesn't mesh. It starts to break that flow of what you're doing. It's in theory, it's a great concept, but then you ask yourself, well, with Battlefield, it's all about constant action, getting into it, right? Big fights, and you say, okay, well, this is gone now, I'm gonna rebuild it. But if you're rebuilding, you're not in the action, you're not going to PTFO, you're not going from one point to the other. And if you just got hurt and you need to make a decision, let's say you got hurt into a firefight, but you have to make a decision of 1, rebuilding this, or 2, getting more ammo to get back in the fight. And if you have no HP, like I just did, I can't rebuild that now. But if the open slate is right here and it's an open spot and is no longer designed in a positive way to create a fair environment, then get screwed. You know, that's the unfairness that occurs in the game, that people have to ask. I think that the goal is you have to ask more of the devs, you know. I'm trying to kill, like, I've accident. I think it's pink because this icon is pink. Silly is I think, also a great weapon. The main reason to limit medics to 2 per team in competitive Oceania was the reason to play any other class and you can smoke and heal yourself. Exactly. But that's the weird thing, right? They removed the community tools, and Battlefield 4, when something didn't work, the community tools existed so we can remove it, or we can limit it. We can change the ammo count. We can limit the amount of people, snipers in a server, so it didn't break the balance, right? So that's why we're in the issue and pickle that we're in. Because DICE doesn't want you to change those things. They don't want that. They don't want you to change the experience because it's looked at that that's not Battlefield, that's changing your Battlefield experience and impacting others. Which is, in a way, they're right, but that's not the foundation of Battlefield 4 and other games was built upon. Like, if you could force servers to be knife only, sure, you can find your own fun with that, but you can't do that in this game. Like, MTL is wanting more creative. Like, let's say we're gonna have pistols only, but the thing is that everyone can grab pistols. Now nobody's all gonna follow that rule. And you could try to force it, but it doesn't happen, you know? The rule has to be there for fun to begin with. And if the option isn't there, then there's no creativity and there's no flexibility. I don't know why I thought they were all friendlies for a second. Coming soon to RSP? I doubt it at this point. Battlefield 5 is kind of a project that they just kind of said we're putting to bed and that's it. Ow, Jesus. Hold on, I gotta check one thing real quick. Make sure. 2 seconds, hold on. Hold on. Let's see here, 2 seconds. I just had to check something really quick. On. I worked on a project today, so I just want to make sure that this individual didn't message me about something. So I just have to check really quick. We're good. Awesome. I'm happy. Okay. I'm sure they're happy too. All right, we back. And that's the thing. If you're disabling like the ability to go prone or removing bipods, the way I think DICE is looking at it is that you're changing the Battlefield experience. You're changing what the meta is, and you're changing the game by yourself. And the developers are trying to create I assume that they're trying to create a cohesive experience that everyone, when they hop in, they know what Battlefield is. I think that's admirable in a way, but like I said, it definitely goes against what Battlefield as a sandbox has been. How did that miss, dude? It would definitely be interesting. Like Battlefield 5 could be in a whole different spot. Just imagine all the things that people complain about if they could create their own servers and just get rid of it in the game. I think half the things that they introduce would be removed. Like in Battlefield 1 with the Mermet, if we could just ban it on a server and not have it accessible, my God, just imagine how much better the game would play. But the thing is that DICE and them have said, no, we don't want that. We don't want you to just take away things because that's part of the package that people pay for. I don't agree, but I am one person in the grand scheme of things. All fire modes are zeroing snipers. A part of me wishes it, but the same way that starts to force people to play a certain way. So I feel like the best way is to kind of keep things more general in terms of rewards, like just get a bunch of kills or something like that. Or if they did release something that if you killed a bunch of people with the alternate firing mode, then you got a 6 skin or something. Sure, I guess that could work. I mean, yeah. I mean, I just probably wouldn't go for it. As long as it's not game breaking. That's kind of the problem where it's like, hey, you want the new gun? You have to go prone and get 30 headshots in one round by going prone. It's like, wait a minute. What if I don't want to go prone in a gunfight? To unlock a gun. And then it starts to become looked at as like, well, that's I'm forced to play a certain way so I can have a potential to win. Especially if the gun is very meta and very good, because there's obviously guns that are better than others, and I don't think that they've done a perfect job of balancing what guns are better than others. I think they've done a pretty good job for the snipers, but there are other guns that just don't play out that way, you know? It's too bad. Maybe if they could change it to what we like, they could have learned from the next game. I don't think that that's necessarily the direction that they want to go, and it's why I'm so concerned for the franchise as a whole. I'm gonna get hit in the back, dude, in a minute. Oh, there he is. I have no HP. Relying on randomness of people dropping HP for me. We've been having some in-depth conversations while killing people. Straight up, that's not the easiest thing to do, by the way. Having a well thought out conversation while we just chill and snipe people. Because if you have ever practiced in a game and you're practicing your aim, it's much harder to have a conversation and shoot at the same time than it is just to be very quiet and then just get shots in, you know? Talking while playing is very difficult. Because you can't do both at the same time. Something starts to diminish and suffer from it. There's no such thing as multitasking. You just diminish one to improve upon another. So usually what I do is I quite literally will stop talking once I start aiming, and then I'll keep talking again. If you ever notice the pattern of how I shoot. I'll give you an example. So if I need to get a comm out that I did something, I'll make the comm in between me making an important shot or aim, because there's always a moment to kind of breathe, and it's finding the moment where you allocate, I call it allocated resources to your brain for one thing to another. So let's say I'm having a conversation, then all of a sudden I aim and shoot, right? Then I can continue my conversation because I know there's nothing needed here. Then I will continue to shoot and have the full-blown conversation, and if I know that I can successfully land the shot, then I'll continue to have the conversation again. You know, that's essentially what you have to do. Is the information that you're relaying relevant to what you're doing? So if I was making a call out, I'm like, okay, I got one right here. He's low, he's low. You know, maybe he's not low. 56 in, 56 in, as I'm rechambering, because I cannot physically do anything but to aim in that moment. But I can say, all right, I hit him for 60. You know, you relay the comms in between whenever you're trying to shift the focus of talking and aiming and playing. Because you can't physically talk and aim with extreme precision while you're talking. You can, but I promise you most of the time you're always going to aim better and faster if you're just putting all your resources of like your brain into one thing. Because you also have to have an internal dialogue with yourself about, there's people here on the left, you know, the same thing like I did earlier. You know, you have an internal dialogue with yourself of like how you get better and what you're doing. You think of yourself, okay, I'm low, I should probably rotate. I don't know if I should take a fight, because if I do, I'm putting myself at a disadvantage. Like, there's an internal dialogue or thoughts that are going on in your brain, even if you realize it or not. You're having a conversation with yourself. Crap, I'm dead. It was a side, on the side had weird challenge, but it gave good skin. It shows I love the game. Look at me go. Then the bow was in the box, but we didn't talk about the box. So yeah, if there's any advice I can give, practice knowing when to speak and when not to speak, and when to listen and when not to listen. Because you can't physically do everything all at the same time. If I'm just quiet, and I know at this situation when I'm reloading, I can have a conversation and talk. But then when things get hot, and I know I need to cut a corner or make a lot more informed decisions, I can stop talking for a second and then pick up back what I'm doing, you know? How did that not hit? So there is no such thing as multitasking. That's why people always say don't text and drive, don't do makeup while you're driving, whatever, all that stuff. The reason why you don't do it is because while you can think that you can multitask, something is reducing with quote-unquote resources allocated when you can provide 100% of your undivided attention and be better at it. If you were a better driver than pretty much everybody, like let's just say you were the god of driving, you're just that good, right? And you say to yourself, well, I can be on the phone and talk while I'm driving because I'm just that talented. Well, just now you're an average driver because you've put your time into being on the phone while driving. Now, if an accident occurred, it would have been more beneficial if you weren't on the phone, because your risk of being an accident is greatly reduced because you have your 100% undivided attention on something at hand, right? That's the same thing that happens when you're gaming, the same thing when you're streaming and playing, and people who stream and play and are entertaining, people could do it very quickly from switching to things. It's not that they're multitasking, it's that they're good at switching the switch. That's all it is. And that's the hard part, is getting yourself up to speed to where you can flip, focus, hyper-focus, chat and be lighthearted. Hyper-focus, chat and be lighthearted. That's a difficult thing to do that you learn over a long time. So Battlefield's a lot like dating, pretty much, yeah. with less fun and less guarantees that you're going to come out with a happy relationship. Lol. Because if I wasn't talking or providing things, I would be more undivided to seeing what's happening in front of me. But of course, as you get better, you start to make very strong and very good educated guesses on how things are going to play out, and you start to build a confidence level. How did I aim down on that shot? Thank you. Jesus. Oh my god, I am too far. What was I doing? It's something I want to do with more with my content. I just don't know how to make it effective. Because I feel like I just want to explain it longer. But I also want to make sure that the content is coherent. Like if I were to explain that concept of like, how do you become better at in-game communication? Okay, well, first you probably need to practice just making random callouts by yourself. So when you're making relevant calls, you are speaking coherently and you're giving the right information. So if we say, okay, how do you make better communication on Battlefield or first-person shooters? Let's say we back up at the back of the map, right? And obviously your KD suffers when you're streaming and playing. This just happens a lot. I learned this a lot early on. So let's say you're making strong comms. What's effective? You're looking somebody up in the center of poles. Got to try to call out best what you can, whatever you see. And then you push forward, you know, and then you don't say anything else. Don't muddy the comms. Don't overflood it. I see snipers on the back end of the sandbags. Back in the sandbags north, more side. They got a tank. Back up. And then don't say anything else. Don't flutter it. Don't try to explain things while in mid-combat. The issue that people have when they're making comms, and everyone does it, you just get better and better at it, is that people start saying, I think he's in the back. He might have a sniper. He's somewhere back there. He's back there. I don't. Oh my gosh, I can't see anymore because there's smoke. I don't know what we should do. And they just keep talking. And then you're kind of like, if you just said they're in the back with a sniper, that's all you have to say. Because you can't physically have a full-blown conversation while making informed decisions as you're playing. It's just not physically possible. It just really isn't. I don't know any way that would be possible. So just some little interesting facts that can hopefully help you guys out. The same thing happens in Apex, that happens in Battle Royale games, happens in Titanfall, happens in CSGO. They say things like in CSGO where they're like, heaven side, left, B site, heaven. Quick comms, quick things, right? Shoot. So obviously the quieter I got, the more I can focus in and land shots. Now if I keep talking, I'm going to play worse, you know? So I know obviously today, I've played well in some rounds, I've played not well in others. This is why pro players struggle so much with growing as a content creator and a streamer. Because you have to find this balance where you ask yourself, do I want to engage with my audience or do I want to put on a show and get a lot of kills? What is the goal? Because the issue when you hop into a pro player stream is they usually are super quiet and they're not saying anything. You just kind of hear, you just see this, ready? You just see. That's normally what you see. Nothing being said whatsoever, right? And usually when you hop into a stream, you ask yourself, well, that guy's not talking, not saying anything. You know, it's like, I don't really know what's going on here. But to do that, that means that he's obviously looking more at his angles. He's thinking more. And it puts on more of that, I guess, so to speak, show. Like, Shroud knows this too. Shroud knows that if he talks less, he'll play better. Or choosing the moments. Like, go watch Shroud's gameplay. He does the same thing. Whenever he's hyper-focused and in the moment, he'll get super quiet. And then once he's done and he knows that he's able to have a conversation and talk, he'll look at chat and have a conversation. You start to know when you can speak and talk and have a conversation and when you can't. Like in CSGO, between rounds, you can start, you know, doing this with your weapon, you know? You're kind of like, hey guys, I'm just buying stuff. Thank you so much for being here. Good hanging out. That kind of stuff. But when he's in the game cutting an angle, looking at corners, you'll pretty much hear dead silent. Unless he's making a call and he says, heaven sight underneath B. Over on A, nobody's here. You want to rotate? Yeah, I'll rotate. I got one. Two down, left side. Over on A. That's what you'll hear. Those are the comms. That's to keep it as clean as humanly possible. You know what I mean? Right? You have to look at people's gameplay like that because it matters immensely and it makes a big difference. The problem when people stream for the first time is this is why I don't normally stream games right away, that I don't know what. Why are those bombs in the game? Sometimes I wonder, man, why? These are the things where I'm talking about that are unwinnable situation. There's no marker, you hear a random noise, and all of a sudden this happens. Ready? 3, 2, oh, okay, we didn't die. Makes you wonder, man, makes you wonder. You just die, just randomly, and you can say, well, you should have heard the noise, and it's like, where am I going to go based on this noise? I'm gonna run away from the objective and give that to him, or I'm gonna run towards them out in the open and just, you know, it's crazy. Like, my focus of today's stream isn't necessarily to dazzle you with gameplay. I think my focus is I really wanted to talk with everybody about what's been happening with Battlefield 5, my thought process, where I want to go with content. I want to see who's engaged, how things are going, people's thoughts, what are people playing, all that fun stuff. Usually whenever I play better, obviously I talk less and I bounce it out. But really today, I've been a bit of a motor mouth. So that's kind of intentional. So it kind of goes to show, it's not that I'm not taking these games seriously. It's just that I wanted today's focus to be about these conversations, you know? I think today was very important. Oh, shoot, dude, I'm dead. Wow, we're really pushed up. What's the gadget do? Pretty much nothing. Gadgets suck in this game. They provide a little utility. One wonders what they do, though. Oof, I pushed around the corner like a maniac. Wow, they actually got it. Feels bad, dude. Boom. Alright, I see where we can reposition and go say hi. I guess I'll take height. I don't know. I'm gonna get going out. All right, good chats, man. I'll look forward to seeing you soon. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to stream tomorrow. So this is kind of the schedule that I'm gonna run into the next week. So I'm working on this big project. I don't know if I can talk about it because I'm under NDA. But I worked on it today. I'm working on it tomorrow from 12 to 5. And I'm working on it next Saturday and Sunday. Next Sunday happens to be my birthday. And then I'm gonna take Monday and Tuesday off from not working on anything. Just to kind of reset, since I've just been working non-stop. And I haven't taken a day, like an honest day, because even when I take days from stream, I'm working on stuff. So I need to take an actual day from work, stream, and also SoaR Gaming stuff. So I got to take a massive break from everything. But tomorrow I want to spend time with my fiance because I honestly don't think I haven't spent enough time with her, and I need to spend more time with her. So I need to be better. I need to balance my life better. I'll get better at it at some point. Oh shoot, I'm dead, dude. Never mind. Jesus. Alright, I'll see you later, bud. Weird fact, #1 player with most flare gun kills in Bf5 all platforms is less than 400. I used to put a lot of stake in the leaderboards. You know what's... I don't know if the community and we have just grown in terms of what skill means. Or maybe it's just the fact that the game has kind of not really deteriorated. Maybe it has the word deteriorated. It's a good word. I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm dead. Hi, Pepega. I'm gonna go back up and say hi. Wow. Bruce Banner. Yeah, you are green. I hate when I can't predict somebody's movement. That guy's movement was so bad or weird. I don't even know what that was, to be honest. Peek. It's a different guy. It's not the one I wanted. I looked at weapon leaderboards just for fun. I used to. Oh, shoot. He's on my left. Man, my score sucks. But I've been chatting way too much. I haven't been taking this as seriously as I should. But we've had a lot of good conversations. And I hope that you guys have learned a lot. I feel like there's so much that I could teach. I don't know. I just feel like I can help so much. I try. I don't know why I feel so compelled to do so. I guess I just like to see people improve. I don't know. I guess that's the question for me. Why do I enjoy teaching people stuff? Why? Why do I enjoy that? Maybe if somebody gets better, maybe mentally I can take some sort of credit and get some fulfillment out of it. Maybe that's what it is. Because I don't know if it's all done out of pure giving. I think obviously there's got to be some sort of ego involved or self-centeredness, because that's just how people work. So I assume, like, it's coming from a good place. But there's always a level of, well, you feel fulfilled because you are taking credit or part in X, Y, and Z amount of work or something. So that's not a negative thing to feel. So people always have to have some sort of self-fulfillment, right? Maybe that's mine. Because I asked myself, wouldn't it be nice if I was the individual? God, I asked myself this question. What if I could just go to sleep at night and just be angry and just talk crap about people all the time? I feel like that if I could just remove my feeling of empathy, that would be amazing. Then I could just do things. Obviously, I would be a horrible person. But I feel like people who don't have empathy, they just get away with just doing it. And I wonder if they actually feel remorse for some of the things they do. I don't think they do. I think they feel justified in it. And I wish that I could feel that way sometimes. Just being honest. Yo, that's awesome, Real Bad Boys. Dude, that's sick. That's awesome, man. I'm glad that the stuff that I talk about helps on console, too. I really am glad about that. Could you imagine just how many views one would get if they just caused a lot of drama? Like, if I just caused endless drama for the sake of it, for fun? That'd be great. If I could just do that and not feel anything. I used to have this, okay, here's something you may not know about me. And maybe this is relatable. Maybe it's not. I don't know. We'll find out. So, I used to get so nervous before I would do any sort of performance. I would throw up, like, constantly, until I physically got on stage and just kind of got over it. And the reason why I would get nervous and throw up is because I was so scared that I was going to screw up the show or that I was going to screw something up. I was so scared that I was like, I had to get on stage and then realize that the world wasn't going to end, that I wasn't going to throw up on stage, that I was going to be okay. So I would get sick, and then I would realize, okay, I'm on stage. I'm fine, and then I could be fine. And part of me wishes so much, and I always felt like I would be a better actor and singer if I could just not get sick, and I could just go up on stage and not just care, and not care at all. It would have been amazing, you know. That'd be so nice, man. Wow. Oh, the troublemaker's now in here. Yeah, usually when you're playing by yourself, you're going to play better because you're just focused on one thing. That's why you play better. Okay. I'm defending. What the heck, bro? I'm not playing on this. I wanted to attack. Please let me have the ability to attack. What's wrong with you? I was defending all last round. Why do I not get the satisfaction of defending or whatever the heck you want to call it, man? That's so unfair. I feel like I got screwed over. Alright, let me find another server. Because that's super unfair. I wanted to be able to attack, and they didn't let me have the ability to attack. Honestly, chat, I've had a really long day. I might wrap up for here today. I'm sorry it's a short stream, but I got up really early and I've been working all day. I kind of need just to relax for a little bit. But I hope that people who watch the stream understand where I'm coming from with everything. I really want to focus more on guides, and I think that all the guides that I can produce for you guys, whether it's Apex or whether it's aim related, will really help you, whether it's Battlefield or whatever game it is. And I think that everything that I can give, I hope I can really do for you guys. So I'm gonna turn off the music because I'm gonna cover this, and I don't know who all is gonna watch this or whatever. Move this on. Jeez. Is why I was here on YouTube today rather than Twitch. Nothing happened on Twitch. Everything is fine. I decided to give YouTube a shot because I wanted to chat with everyone here to kind of get everyone caught up on what was going on. I might stream just going forward every single Saturday Battlefield here on the YouTube channel. The reason for that is while I could get more viewers on Twitch, I think there is a better chance to get pushed to the algorithm here. By just moving at least the Battlefield streams over here, where there can be more watch time, kind of revive a bit of the YouTube channel here. Because my concern is that Apex content is starting to do a lot better, but I would like to have the Battlefield people here. Still, I want to connect with the people who have been with the channel for a really, really long time. And that really means a whole lot to me. So I don't know. I know if I do it on Twitch, there's not enough community there. The people on Twitch have abandoned Battlefield, and there's a few people who stream there, but there's about maybe 200, 300 people tops watching that. But I know that here on the YouTube channel, we have like 45,000 plus or whatever number subscribed here on YouTube, and that's much bigger than what the Twitch directory is offering. Now, while I have a large number of people following me on Twitch, I want to grow within Twitch, and I want to stream Apex Legends on that channel to see how I can continue to grow and get better. And the reason why I'm doing it is because I don't necessarily want to just stagnate myself on Battlefield, but I also want to become better as a player because I want to provide better guides and better stuff for you guys. Like when we're talking about positioning, when we're talking about aim, and we're talking about other various topics. And I think I can do that a lot better for you guys, especially what I'm doing in Apex Legends. You'll see that more. The next one is going to be pro tips for Apex Legends. But a lot of the things that I'm talking about is the same concepts and ideas that apply to Battlefield. And I hope people realize that what you learn from one game, especially the issue that's occurring with Battlefield 5, and even as we look at the number of servers, is that you're only going to play against a certain number of people. But you can expand that list by playing in a game that has a more diverse pool of people. When Battlefield 6 comes along, I'm going to be grinding the heck out of that game. I'm not going to stop playing it. And I'm super, super excited for the future of Battlefield 6. It does make me nervous if this next one doesn't take off, what's going to happen. I think that if Battlefield 6 fails, we're going to see the end, in my opinion, of the Battlefield franchise. I don't want that to happen, but it's generally my huge concern for the franchise and the game. But nonetheless, I hope that you guys have really enjoyed the stream. For those that are watching on YouTube that happen to pass by this VOD or even managed to get somehow to the end of the stream, it was the main concept of what we covered for the stream, and I feel like there was a lot of helpful tips in here. I hope that this was, again, helpful for you guys. I appreciate everyone for coming out today to watch the stream. I'm going to go rest up. I had a long day, and my work day is going to continue tomorrow, even though it's not my day job. It's not SoaR. I'm working on something really, really big, and it is a paycheck. I am working, so, you know, I always got to grind. But again, thank you guys so much for coming out. I appreciate every single one of you for coming by the YouTube channel and showing your support. I will see you guys all, if not tomorrow, on Monday on the Twitch channel. And of course, on the YouTube comment section, I read literally every single comment. So thank you again so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye, everybody.